Somebody just said cholesterol goes up in menopause because of low nitric oxide, and that is not how physiology works. Anything I ever tell you guys, it's not me talking, it's the latest evidence based research that I find, and I am on this stuff all day, every day. This person that said cholesterol goes up in menopause because of low nitric oxide is a naturopath, I guess, physician. And let me tell you why that's incorrect. But before I do that, let me back up and say I kind of sort of agree with her on part of that, which is estrogen. Estrogen does support nitric oxide and vascular health. And you guys know what nitric oxide is. It causes your blood vessels to get bigger and smaller, bigger and smaller. And that's just vasodilation, which increases or decreases blood flow, which obviously has a lot to do with your blood pressure. Think about it. But it does not control how much cholesterol your liver produces or clears, period. Cholesterol is regulated in the liver by estrogen increases or decreases. Simple. Estrogen increases LDL receptor activity, which helps clear cholesterol or LDL from your blood. So what happens in menopause or perimenopause, and by the way, this is what she was specifically referring to, perimenopause or menopausal women. What happens? Estrogen drops. And what happens then? The clearance of LDL or cholesterol drops. Then your LDL rises. And this is how I'm going to blow her theory out of the water. If nitric oxide control cholesterol, everybody that takes a pre-workout drink that has citrulline or arginine or beetroot juice, your cholesterol would be perfect all the time. But it's not. And this includes guys too. And by the way, I take pre-workout drinks. And when I'm not on estrogen, my cholesterol goes up a lot of the time. And by the way, cholesterol, there was a position paper by the FDA put out in 2015 that says dietary cholesterol is not a contributing factor to serum cholesterol levels, which means when you draw your blood and you get a high cholesterol, that is not because of what you eat. That's not me saying that. That is the FDA saying that. So beware. So let's have a little bit of clarity, okay? Low nitric oxide, and remember, these are the compounds that increase and decrease blood vessel size, vasodilation. They absolutely can increase or affect cardiovascular risk, but that's simply because your blood vessel isn't working as well. So if you have less nitric oxide, it's not going to be as pliable and has a good vasodilatory function. But when you increase nitric oxide, yeah, it's going to work a little bit better, but that is completely different than saying it affects or raises cholesterol levels. Rising cholesterol in menopause is not a blood vessel issue. It's a liver regulation issue driven by loss of estrogen. Because what happens when you have a decrease in estrogen? When you're in menopause or perimenopause? You have fluctuating estrogen levels and then eventually a decline in estrogen. This is why women that are not on, and again, there's exceptions to every rule, but as a umbrella general theory or term, healthy people, when their estrogen drops, their cholesterol goes up because estrogen regulates LDL clearance at the liver. And these are two completely different systems. Your vascular function is nitric oxide, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. Lipid metabolism is liver. When you confuse these two, that leads to bad guidance. Like I said, if nitric oxide was a factor in cholesterol, your pre-workout would fix your labs. And it doesn't. It simply doesn't. This is why physiology matters. And this is why women are dismissed, because physiology gets oversimplified, and you cannot do that. And people are saying, well, What, I bet you're thinking, well, what about men? Men have estrogen too. And when you have higher testosterone levels, like men do, that converts or aromatizes to estrogen. And that estrogen supports LDL receptor activity in the liver. So it helps maintain a healthier lipid profile, a healthy cholesterol profile. Which is why, was it yesterday I did a video on my friend? She called me with just in dire straits because her cholesterol had gone up. And you know why? Because her estrogen went from 90 to 18 in less than 3 months. So what does that mean? Her LDL clearance went down. LDL went up. Her lipid profile got worse. Guys, it's the same mechanism for men. It's just not as dramatic. Please be careful the strategies that you implement. Please do your homework. There's a lot of variables and a lot of factors that involve lipid metabolism, cardiovascular function, nitric oxide function. You can't just focus or fix or treat one thing. Remember what I say, everything is connected. You have to look at everything. People need cholesterol for healthy function. Healthy function of a lot of things. Inflammation control, cardiovascular protection, brain protection, metabolic function. So when you crash your estrogen, as a man or a woman, watch your lipids get worse. That in and of itself should tell you where cholesterol is actually regulated. Again, it's physiology. It's not my opinion. I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, let me know. And if you are having trouble figuring out what's going on with you, the link to work with me is in my bio, guys. There is help available. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful.